Good morning, everyone. My name is Courtney, and I'm taking over ITA's Instagram today. I'm coming from Potrero, Costa Rica, which is where I have been living since January of this year with my partner, Mike, and my dog, Titan. He's eating some grass, it looks like. And also our cat, Rex. I'm from Denver, Colorado originally, but I lived in Washington, D.C. for about 2 years before we decided to move here. And my boyfriend Mike and I decided to get certified to teach English the summer of 2018. So finally in January, after quitting our 9-to-5 jobs, we moved to Costa Rica. This is our house right here. We're gonna go inside, and I'm probably gonna have to be whispering a little bit because Mike is currently teaching with VIP Kid, and I don't want to disturb his classes. Let's go inside and see how it's going. All right, here's Mike's VIP Kid classroom, but it looks like his kid was a no-show. How does that make you feel?
What's up, everyone? Just teaching. Had 5 classes today, so looks like the last one is a no-show though, which is okay on VIP Kid because you still get paid for no-shows, so it's all good.
All right, I got my iced coffee and my top knot because it's already really hot out. And I think I will give you a tour of our casita now that Mike's finishing up with teaching. So as you can see behind me, there's Titan and our little family room and our little dining area just for us two. And I'm standing in the kitchen. Now behind me, we have this awesome little screened in porch, which is not something you actually really see around here, but we have a cute little seating area and also a little washer back there, and then that is our backyard with some awesome tropical plants. It's like a little tropical oasis. As you can see, there's our cat Rex. Hi, buddy. We have a bonus cat right now. This is Princess Callie. We have been feeding her. She's a street cat that was living at our old house, and we occasionally check up on our favorite little gatos callejeros. And this little girl needed to get spayed so that she would no longer be having kittens and contributing to the ever-growing cat population. So we're really happy we were able to do that for her, and now we're hoping to find a loving home for her. So I think right now is a really good time to point out how uncommon it is to see that on ITA's Instagram takeovers, somebody with so many pets, especially ones that they brought with them from the States. So if anyone has particular questions about moving internationally with your dog or your cat, feel free to send me those questions. It's something that I've written about on my own blog that I've started because I think that that is something that people always have questions about, and I personally feel like an expert after the logistical nightmare I went through to make this move possible. And needless to say, although it can be very overwhelming to figure out how to import an animal to a new country, I will say that if you start planning ahead far in advance and you are not going to let the paperwork or the logistics get in the way of you pursuing your dream, it is so worth it. I put off moving internationally for so long, and I always said it was because, well, I have pets and it's my duty to stay here with them and to not disrupt their life, and of course I can't leave them with anyone else. And that, I think, is a very relatable situation to be in for most animal lovers and pet owners, and one day I just kind of decided, like, maybe I'm also kind of using this as an excuse to hold myself back from doing what it is that I really want to be doing. Okay, so there's your inspirational pep talk for the day, and so I encourage you to think about what might you be using to hold yourself back. And moral of the story is, don't let the things that you love prevent you from living out a dream that you have. Instead, you take them with you. So without further ado, I will show you a breakdown of our expenses. I've shared what our expenses are monthly on things like rent and utilities and groceries. And something I think that's really important to emphasize here is that Costa Rica is not cheap. I think sometimes there's a misconception that because it's Central America that it should be cheaper to rent here or even buy property or even buy groceries. And that is not true. It's equivalent to many places in the United States. Coming from Washington, D.C., I would say that rent is definitely more affordable, but then there will be other things that are much more expensive, and so then it basically ends up equaling out, if not costing much more. So I typically don't teach until the afternoons, which means in the morning I'm able to do other things. So that means right now I have time to lesson plan and also work on my blog. I'm currently writing about all the ways to make an income, to sustain an income while living in Costa Rica or really anywhere abroad. And then I also spend this time working on my Etsy store, which is something that I launched this year. And I enjoy photography and creating wall art. So I also sell that on Etsy as, hopefully in the future, a way to make an extra income. So we're both getting ready for our online classes. We teach with Verbling, which is another online platform. It works kind of like VIP Kid, but this one's a little different because it's mostly adults, and you can work all throughout the day. And also on this platform, you set your own rates. So Mike's VIP Kid classroom is now his Verbling classroom. Titan likes to hang out in here while he teaches. And then I teach here just on our dining table. I don't need much, just a plain background and a set of headphones and my computer. So we just finished teaching one of my lessons on Verbling. Each lesson is an hour long, but we had a slight hiccup because the power decided to go out about 45 minutes into the lesson. And this can happen frequently in Costa Rica. In our house, it hasn't happened in a really long time, but it's something to be aware of. So we are in the center of the town of Potrero, and this right here is the classroom for a nonprofit organization called Abriendo Mentes. Abriendo Mentes is the organization that we first started teaching with in Costa Rica, and it actually is what brought us to this particular part of the country. It's both an invitation to lead their adult English program. So I teach intermediate English to adults, and Mike teaches the beginner level, and we've since then formed a team of 2 other teachers. So we have an advanced level now and also a class specifically for high school students. So one other important thing to mention is that Abriendo Mentes is hiring. We're looking for a part-time youth English teacher in the Brasilito community, and it is a good position for anyone who is proficient in Spanish. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to send me a direct message and I can send you more information about the job.